Wait, nope, there it is. Okay. The button was stuck for a second. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel premiere of my short hair from what, 2019, 2016 to 2019. It's back, and I miss the long hair. This isn't what I wanted, but it's for a video, and the video is gonna be great, and I will just end up having to grow the long hair back out. Obviously, this is the first stream back since we ended a League of His Own. Last week I had a job interview, and I don't think it went too well. They told me they'd call me this week, and we're over halfway through the week, and I haven't heard anything. So, you know, there it goes. But yeah, this is strange. This is strange. This is I need the long hair back pronto. I'm trying to, like, now that I've got the short hair, like, I'm trying to keep myself clean shaven, because I feel like I look weird, like, with the beard and short hair combo. Like, I look too doodly, and that's not what I want to look like. But yeah, real quick, let me go through the chat. Let's see. Gohan646, hello. Wowie's in the chat. Aiden Vaughn is here. Hello. Danny is in here being very tired. You and me both. I couldn't fall asleep last night. I don't know why, but, like, I just decided, okay, I can't fall asleep. Let me clean the refrigerator. So I took out, like, the produce drawers and that whole shelf on the bottom, and, like, ran it through the sink and everything, while Sissy's in here asleep as shit. And I'm just, like, cleaning that out. Took an hour to do it, and it looks all nice and neat now. But now I'm realizing as I open the refrigerator door that, like, with how clean that looks, I'm now noticing that there's, like, definitely crumbs, like, right at the edge of the base of the refrigerator that, like, I need to scrub off the floor and everything. I'm just like, the work is never done. But yeah, so I ended up staying up doing that and doing, like, Watchtower database work, and got to sleep at, like, 1 or 2 maybe. I even watched Mystery of the Batwoman last night just because I couldn't fall asleep. And now here I am, woke up at, like, 8 something, and just was like, I could have slept more. Dipper's hanging out with me, and I have M&M's. When you say M&M's, I hope you mean the Slim Shady LP and the Marshall Mathers LP. The only M&M's that matter, truthfully. I feel like we could probably make a case for Encore, but, you know, he just kind of started falling off at some point. Short hair. Amy in here with the upside down emoji. I feel that. Kachowdy, back to you. Short hair Maddie. Oh, hey Sanders, how's it going? Spider-Man. Hold on, Spider-Man's in here telling me that they're Batman, and I don't know that I trust it. Am I a wizard? I don't want to be a wizard. Went to bed at 6 a.m. Oof.
Any ideas?
Hopefully you got more sleep than I did. I don't know the time zone differentiation. Played a round of Clank last night. What is Clank? Are you talking Secret Agent Clank for the PSP, released in, like, what, 2011? Secret Agent Clank. I think it also got a PS2 release. 2008, wow. The PSP was around in 2008? Jesus Christ, time just moves and it doesn't stop. Oh hey, Miss Martian's here. Hello. You haven't missed anything yet. We've only been on for like 5 minutes. It's a board game. Oh, okay. That probably makes more sense than you playing Secret Agent Clank for the PSP from 2008. Woke up at 3 p.m. Damn. So you got more sleep than I did, at least. That hair looking dapper. I want the long hair back, personally, but it's gonna take time. I just had to do it for the video. Thought that I was going to fall asleep at 2 p.m. and then was awake until 8 p.m. R.I.P. That's a bummer. So since I haven't been on, and, like, it's been 2 weeks now. I mean, I wasn't on last week, and therefore It's been 2 weeks since y'all last saw me. I've got some stuff from the mail that I want to share with y'all. If you follow us on Twitter, you've probably already seen it. But we got like a bunch of Batman Beyond model sheets, mostly for like background characters that I've been working on scanning in. There's some cool stuff in here, but it's mostly all like Student 3, Teen 1. Ooh, there's Teen 2 and Teen 3. Cheerleader 1, Cheerleader 2, Cheerleader 4, that kind of stuff. I know we've got like a one that kind of looks like Mary Jane Watson, though I think that might just be like reusing the head of DCAU Lana Lang. And we've got like Chelsea Cunningham as a cheerleader, Terry's friend Chelsea. So that's neat. And then there was like, there's another one that kind of looks like Barbara. Was it this one? I think it's this one, Juice Bar Patron #1. No, is that it? I don't know. But I've been working on scanning them in over time. Wait, no, here it is. Chelsea's friend #3. That's definitely like Barbara's head on a different body. So that's kind of neat. I've got a bunch more to get through and scan, but I've, been working my way through and ran out of binder sheets to put them in. So I got to get more. But I also don't have money right now. So that's the thing. And then we got a bunch of stuff from like Mask of the Phantasm as well. That was just like Bullock's mouth charts. We've got mouth charts for a lot of the characters. Like here is Jack Napier's mouth chart, which is pretty cool. And then like we have a size comparison sheet that has a bunch of Phantasm models on it. And I think we have like solo models for a couple interesting ones. Here's Chucky Saul's turnaround, which is pretty neat. Let's see. I don't think that this guy had a name in the movie, but canonically, his name is Duty. So here's Duty, everybody. What else did we have from Phantasm? Oh, I mean, of course, we've got, the Phantasm herself. Spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. And yeah, that's all like the super interesting ones there. Hold on. Let me catch up with the chat for a second before I show you all the other books. It's one of those rules constantly change board games. Oh, my sleeping schedule's just broken. True. I feel that. We gotta get you a wig. We ended up using one for my Harley persona for the multiverse video, just because like we had to do the haircut before I did the shave. Because the characters had facial hair and stuff, so we figured that the only way to make it work would either be to like split up the recordings, which wasn't really much of an option, or to get a wig, and so that's what we did. But the wig is with James, and it's kind of a poofy wig, so I'm like, probably not something I would wear. I feel like the haircut looks a lot better when I have makeup on, though. I kept the Harley makeup on and went out to dinner with it, like after we finished recording that, and I felt that I looked good. Oh, Clarence Pamelar, thanks for subbing. I don't know if you're on the YouTube stream or not, but if you are, hello. Let's see. Oh, one that fits. You already caveated it. You showed me the Darcy background character. Yeah, that's in the stack somewhere. I think that's cooler than having well-known characters. Yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously the well-known characters are typically a little bit more easier to find online and stuff, but having all of this stuff is just like, you know, there's one that we have that's like named Glenn Wong. That's like one of the character designers, and seeing stuff like that's really neat to be like, oh, we could canonically start calling this character by this person's name. Cheerleader 4 is my favorite character from all the DCAU. I feel that. I'm joking, but I actually like these background drawings. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Hello there. Will you do some videos about these books, their canonicity, timeline reviews, Easter eggs, etc.? Yeah, I mean, so anything like canonicity and timeline stuff is wrapped up in our storyline right now. So there's not like a fire pushing us to really do that for these books right now, but that's part of the reason why we're doing these streams, so that we can have those notes ready and prepared for when we do get to that. I did do kind of some of that with the Harley Quinn video recently. A lot of that went back over the Mad Love novelization that we read on this stream, but not a lot of people watched that video. I spent $200 on makeup and costuming, and the video itself has made $28 so far. So, you know, if you want to go to patreon.com/DCAU Watchtower and give us money every month, I won't stop you. In fact, I'll encourage it. Claps for Duty. Duty is now best DCAU character. I remember this book because that kid who's reviewed all of them said Green Lantern had a plan in it, and it was a good plan. 5 stars. Doogie, not house. I feel like that's a reference to something that I'm missing. The multiverse, the end of the story arc, or is there more stuff on the way? There's more stuff on the way. We've got... How much do I want to say? I'll say we have 3 videos till we get to like the climax of the story, and we have like the loose plans for a couple things after that, but like not necessarily set in stone. Hello, Scarloey. How's it going? What if I send you a really nice wig, like a dark auburn natural redhead wig? I don't know. Wigs never like felt like my thing. I personally just want to have long hair rather than like having to you know, pretend to have long hair. Some people are loving the haircut though. Thanks, Scarloey. Okay. So the other stuff that I got in the mail recently, I got this DC Superheroes style guide. As you can see, it's a Superman the Animated Series, New Batman Adventures era style guide, but it has characters that did not show up during that. It was mostly used for like the sake of marketing stuff, and as a result, we got a couple interesting characters in here that we hadn't seen elsewhere at the time. Let me see. We've got a DCAU Superboy, for instance. More Superboy. That's Steel. We had Steel on the show. We have Doomsday, but since this is pre-Justice League, he looks a little different. And by a little different, I mean a lot different. I think there's some Bat Family characters in here. It says in here that Tim is the 3rd Robin, which like is true for DC in general, but was not the case for the DCAU until recently. There's no Jason model or anything though. We've got this Wonder Woman which some of you may have seen before. She was mentioned in Ted's Wonder Woman video a little while back and was used on like Barbies and stuff along those lines. Let's see, I think that flashes straight from the show. I think this Kyle Rayner is a little bit different than how he appeared in the in Superman the Animated Series. So this might have been like early during that show's run. We've also got Aquaman is much different than how he appeared in that show. We've got Shazam. And we have Hawkman. Way before his appearances in, what was it, Justice League Unlimited. And then the back of the book is just like bigger versions of the same images that are earlier in the book. So, you know, if, say, for some reason you needed to have a bigger Doomsday, here he is, being big and in charge. Let's see. Why is my scroll not working? I had this headcanon. Oh, that's for your conversation with Miss Martian, I think. I hate that Superboy head. It looks goofy. Yeah, it's not the best. Very I guess like minimal work looks like it was put into it. I would look great with Paul McGann's wig from the where'd it go? From the 1996 Doctor Who movie. I'll have to look at that. I'm watching Doctor Who right now, but we started with Eccleston, so I'm not like too well versed in anything that came before that. This is like my second time starting Doctor Who. I was watching it way back in the day and then quit when Capaldi started. Just because I was out of cable, like not out of cable, but like I just didn't have cable at the time, and I never picked it back up. But is he bigger though? Big Doomsday real? When do you look so glamorous? Yeah. Kyle's in Superman the Animated Series had a more classic Geo costume. This one is okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Have a doll of Aquaman with that design. Oh, that's neat. Hey, Andrew, how's it going? I'm doing excellent. How about yourself? Kyle is very different. Didn't have his 90s look in the show. Just a generic. Okay. LOL. Aquaman stick his chest out. He's got a what's the word? Project dominance. I like that Hawk design. Yeah, it's real cool. I'm really looking forward to scanning through these. My main thing is that like. Obviously being bound as a book, I don't know how I'm gonna get like the best of scans given that some of the artwork goes into the crease, but at the same time it's pretty clear to me from the front of this and how there's like a crease right here going down the artwork. You can't see it because there it is, you can probably see it if I back up. Like it's pretty clear that this is a reproduction of the original thing. So, you know, damaging it is like, I don't want to because I spent money on it, but you know, so it goes. Bigger Doomsday, thick Doomsday. Yeah, but we are gonna need a bigger Doomsday. Doomsday more like Beaks Day. I can also read your headcanon. Oh, I'm gonna have to scroll back up then. Maddie on a Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It's Thursday. It's Thursday. What are you talking about? It's Thursday. When are we gonna see Batman Doom's Night? I don't know what that means. What we talking today? We're gonna be doing another one of the Justice League books, but I just wanted to go through like my mail stuff that I got. I got a Superman the Animated Series style guide. All of these books, all these style guides, I got from the same seller. It's someone on eBay who seems to have like run a cartoon magazine back in the day, and I feel like they had the originals of all this stuff and like scanned them in and then decided to like make prints to sell online, which, you know, more power to them. but like would have been cooler to have the original stuff. This one, like, I think most of the like interesting stuff in here is that I've got prop designs now. Here's a car, and here's Clark Kent's pen and notepad. So you know, lots of small stuff like that. Building cracks, rubble. Trying to see what in here would be like the coolest thing. Hey Wowie, here's Metallo for you. There's your boy, Mr. Corbin himself. And here's also Mr. Corbin himself. Are you, was there anything else specifically in the Superman that you want to see, Wowie? Here's Parasite without his eyeballs. No eyes at all. This is creepy looking. Like, here's a man who's about to do some endo to a security guard. If you're on Discord, then you might get the reference. Ma and Pa Kent. Toyman? Let me see if he's in here. See, there's Jor-El. So I feel like I'm moving away from where Toyman would be. Hey! Who's this big beefy boy? Who is this big beefy boy? I love him. It's called Lex Luthor Dress-Up Doll is the name of that character model. See, there's Ron Troop. There's Lana Lang. Angela Chin. Oh, yeah. So originally for Superman the Animated Series, Perry White was supposed to be a black man. So that's pretty interesting. Here's his full body turn. It's like a completely different character model than what we ended up seeing. There's Jimmy Olsen. Here we go. Here's one for the heteros. Y'all can screenshot that. I'll leave it up here for 2 more seconds. 1, 2. There you go. Hope y'all are happy. Let's see. I'm not seeing Toyman. That's the start of the... Oh, no, there's Clark. There's Superman. There's Bibbo's back. Hold on. Oh, there's a list of all of everything. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's a Toyman in here. Wowie. I tried. But I think this only covers the first couple episodes. So yeah, that's the Superman one. Let's see. Oh, hey Matt, how's it going? Good to see you in here. Classic pen and notepad. Famous superhero gadgets, bat grapple. Oh no, where did it go? It doesn't like to stay on what I'm reading. Bat grapple, batarang, super pencil, and notebook. No, not brain. Oh, Jesus Christ, stop scrolling the chat while I'm trying to read the chat. There being no Wednesday TED stream messed me up. That's fair. Parasite's blind. That's what I'm thinking. Cannot wait to see what y'all do with the model stuff. I got a bunch of different bin 10 company only style guides a few years ago with a bunch of original background files for the show. Oh, hell yeah. No, this stuff is always like super interesting. I think our main goal in getting all of this is to like have it scanned and used for the website, but obviously as well as like art reference for Legacies and stuff along those lines. The hype for rare animation media is real. Ain't that the truth? He's built like a truck. Yeah, Lex is thick. Brainiac has been ruined for all of us. Luthor has a baby, thick Luthor. Luthor goes for a swim. I always forget that Ron was in the show. Yeah, he was very much a background character, I feel like. That's what Luthor looked like when he came out of his mother's womb. Yes, that side. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Luthor. Lex is triangular like Glenn Danzig. Oh, that's a tragedy. But he was in episode 4. I mean, yeah, I think it's just like the first 3 episodes worth of stuff, though. Had no idea about Perry originally being black for Superman the Animated Series. Neat. Yeah, I found like I found a colored version of that model a while back, and it was very like shrunk down, and I was just like, oh, black Perry White, interesting. What the hell? And I just never thought I'd see anything else of it. And then we got a hold of these style guides. I was like, oh, Naked Luthor is more important than Toyman. That's true. Hey, don't invisible us depraved femmes. We exist. That's fair. That's fair. I just after doing the community post for a while, where I've been posting like the you know, the Super Babes character models, or like the Harley Quinn Gods and Monsters character model, or even just the line art of Gloria kissing Renee for Batman The Adventures Continue, which, like, if y'all haven't read the new issue yet, do it. The art's incredible, and Gloria is just wonderful. I've just been noticing that, like, there's a lot of fucking horny dudes that interact with the stuff that we're posting, so that was the first thing on my mind. But yeah, obviously, you know, if you're into Lois and not a dude, then more power to you as well. Going good, finally got video software, and I'm almost done with my next video. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Why would there ever need to be designs for the characters in their underwear for a show on Kids WB? I think more than anything, it's just to like have the model there and like build clothes, like build wardrobe for it. That's my biggest assumption. But yeah, beach episodes possible as well. The underwear designs are just for them to... Yeah, okay. Amy said the same thing. Nice haircut. Well, thank you, L Block, or Bloke, however you want it pronounced. Wish that we could get animation museums. I want to pay $20 to go see Brainiac and SpongeBob turnarounds across the walls. Well, this isn't necessarily anything that will happen, but I've been talking to both James and Ted about us at some point in the future opening a comic shop that also kind of serves as a base of operations for Watchtower Database / DCAU Museum, and they both like the idea, but obviously that is a lot of money, which is a thing that we don't get a lot of from YouTube or Patreon. I know we're making enough to where, like, James gets to be doing this as his you know, full-time gig, but Ted still has a job, and I am about to be trying to find a job since unemployment has dried up. So, you know, money me now, needing money, me money need a lot now, as they say in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I hate Harley's Gods and Monsters design so much. From what I understand, it was Bruce Timm poking fun at like how overly sexualized she had become, like since the creation, and like it wasn't meant to be like taken as a serious thing, and more so a pastiche. Is that the word? Pastiche, parody, something along those lines. But you know, that's that doesn't necessarily make it a better design. And he has also since decided that Harley in her underwear is a good thing to do. So, you know. Where do I apply? We gotta figure out a way to centralize first before taking on employees. But yeah, okay. So next thing I've got 2 more books before we get into the actual book that we're reading today, and it's already almost 12:30. I got a Batman the Animated Series Bible, which I know for a fact that this one is a reproduction of the original Bible because it's got, you know, TNBA stuff on it. Was it made by the person who sold it to me, or was it made by Warner Bros. Animation, as their logo is on here multiple times, just for the sake of continuing to milk the property for merchandising? Who's to say? I am clueless. But I'm sure plenty of y'all have seen the Bible before. It comes with like a lot of interesting. Oh, I don't think I've seen this one actually. It comes with like a lot of interesting like early concept stuff. A lot of like. Here's Renee Montoya's page, for instance. It says that she had a husband who died. Like a lot of stuff that didn't end up making it into the show. Here's an early Robin design from the Bible. You can look up like the main Bible itself online. It's made available in plenty of places. But over time, more pages were added to the Bible, and there's stuff that's in here that's not online. I have never seen this Riddler design before. I've seen this, but like with the mask and hat on. I've never seen these heads for it, so that's really interesting. And then we got like let's see. Let me get out of the Bible itself and into like character designs. A lot of character designs I've seen online before, but we've got like this security guard who apparently is named Benny Wartles. Why did they think they needed to name him that? I don't know, but Benny Wartles is this guy's name. Here's a policewoman that I don't recognize. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting into good stuff. Alfred's teapot and cup. That's what y'all wanted. Alfred's serving tray. Tear gas, which let me tell you is not fun. Not fun at all. The one time I've been blasted with tear gas just was not the best time. Oh damn. So I got this this penguin head turn, or I guess like, you know, emotions chart. But what's up with this little lip bite he's doing? What's going on there? That's an interesting little thing. And then like the back of this has a bunch of different like just sketches. I'm not sure specifically what they are. Probably just like character studies more than anything else. For folks who were trying to get the thing down, but I don't know how they made it into this version of the Bible or who they are drawn by, because they don't look like Tim, Bruce Timm, really. Let's see, a lot of emotions charts. Here's I guess what Batgirl could have looked like, which is a pretty interesting look. I think the most the thing that I saw while flipping through here the other day that like stuck out to me the most was so Catwoman originally had a completely different look for BTAS, and I've never seen this art for that look, and it's fucking awesome. I love it. I love that look for her. I kind of wish that they went with it. I got a anime as an adolescent has given me a thing for cat girls. Yeah. I know, how basic, but sorry, it's the truth. So, you know, this is cool to see. Catch back up with y'all again real quick before I go into the last book before we read. Harley at Gods and Monsters feels like when evil Captain America wore the ultimate uniform in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I need to rewatch that show. Please never remind me of that Gods and Monsters Harley short. That still sort of freaks me out. Oh yeah, that one was gruesome. Will this store's employees have a union? I mean, I don't know what the store's employee situation will be like. I don't even know if the store will ever end up existing. It's just a thought, right? Like, we've been talking about having a website for a while, and that's still not off the ground either. If you're hiring and you ever need Portuguese subtitles, I'm a Brazilian non-binary femme looking for a job with a DCAU podcast in the making. Ooh, interesting. I do know that that we've been discussing trying to do subtitling, but I think like I was saying earlier, the biggest situation is that we don't make a lot of money on this, and so asking somebody to do that for us just kind of feels exploitative to a degree, if that makes sense. And so we haven't really pursued it too much. Wow, the Bible has a lot more Batman than I expected. I get it. Gods and Monsters, you'll know what I mean. I did know what you mean. He's balding. Security guard, you say. Oh no! Betty looks baked. True. Isn't he bald? And isn't who bald? Oh, Riddler? Yeah, Riddler went bald in TNBA. I remember there was a scene with Maggie Sawyer's wife, but is there a scene with Renee's girlfriend or something? Renee's girlfriend just got introduced in Batman The Adventures Continue. I might pull that up in a little bit, depending on what time allots. But yeah, she recently got a DCAU exclusive girlfriend named Gloria Navarro, and I love her. Probably best new character from Batman The Adventures Continue. Very, very, very close with Mr. Wing. I would say Mr. Wing is just below her, but I love her to death, and I'm so glad that she was drawn by Jordan Gibson, because as much as I love Rick Burkett, his contribution to this book has been a little bit less than pleasant to look at. And as far as Ty Templeton goes, I love Ty Templeton's art, but I think that his contributions to this book have very much been stunted by the fact that it started off as an action figure tie-in, and he did a lot, if not all of the action figure design work, and so his approach to the book has very much looked like action figures, whereas Jordan's approach to the book is, I loved BTAS as a child, I'm going to draw this as if it's BTAS, and I think it's the best the book has looked yet. Very much worth, if you're not into Batman The Adventures Continue, it's very much worth getting at least this one issue for the art alone. And of course, because it's Gloria's first comic appearance, and who knows, maybe that'll be worth something one day. Let's see. Keep them away from Brainiac. I sure do hope he is not going to be subjugated to a horrible fate. He looks more stoned than I was when I was a security guard for sorority houses. Oh god, that sounds like a hell of a job. That one beautiful teapot. Teapot is hot. Are you gonna get demonetized? Green Lantern has amnesia. What if he forgets he's voiced by Phil Lamar? That would be tragic. Maybe he'll end up sounding like me while we read the book. Penguin, more like Pegwin. Oh, jeez. Do you all still talk to Dan Reba or Rich Fogel? Do you know if they can confirm which of this stuff is real or fake? I know Dan is still definitely like in our radar. I feel like Rich was just more of like luck of the draw, but I do think he's Facebook friends with James. I mean like all of the artwork within is real. I just don't know like the authenticity of the books themselves, you know, if they are if these were put together directly by Warner Brothers or if they're reproductions of what was put together by Warner Brothers. But the artwork inside is all real. Also, I got used to not seeing this much of your shoulders. Time to readjust. Yeah, I'll end up growing the hair back out, but like it's gonna take time. When's the Multiverse 2 video coming out? No clue. There's thousands and thousands of files to go through. It's going to take a lot of editing. It's kind of backseat to the fact that we have a consistent schedule for the meantime, as well as like we want to get the other story video stuff shot and prepared, and kind of have it flow consistently. So it might be some time. I do know we are going and recording another video in a couple of weeks for the story as well. So it's all coming, but I don't know how quickly. Is that TMBA Penguin or just Penguin before needing to model him after Danny DeVito? It's BTAS. None of that was TNBA. Imagine they changed her look so she was more Burton-esque. Yeah, probably. I missed the dark black hair for Catwoman. I never liked the blonde, but the short black was fine enough. Yeah, I'm same mind. Personally, I hated how they made a lot of characters like the Burton films because Burton didn't understand the characters. Like he turned Penguin into a Penguin man and not a mobster. So I like TNBA for that. That's fair. How dare you insult Mr. Wing? I'm not insulting Mr. Wing. Mr. Wing's still a high favorite, but Gloria Navarro is just wonderful. Burkett needs a better inker. Yes, I agree. Jordan's art is gorgeous. Also agree. Last thing I got before we get into the book, I was saving this for last because it goes along with the book. Green Lantern, the animated series style guide. This one's a lot thinner than the other ones, but still pretty cool to have. Unfortunately, a lot of the artwork within is CGI stuff because the show was CGI. But we've got like CGI turnarounds like that, but then we also have like CGI action poses for, I guess, marketing material and merchandising, stuff along those lines. Did I like the new B-Tech issue? I feel like story-wise, it kind of feels like a ground we've tread elsewhere. It kind of feels like the Bane episode. There's beats taken from the Forgotten episode as well. And so it just feels like, this is just a thing that's happening. But the art was wonderful, and I greatly appreciate Gloria's inclusion. More marketing material. This stuff is not CGI though. This is that's 2D drawing, so that's cool. We have in here poster designs, or I guess card backs for action figures, whichever they ended up using these for. Let's see, a lot of logos and stuff. Spaceships kind of situation. Let's see. I posted this on our community tab yesterday, but I got a size chart which has a bunch of character models on it in 2D drawing, so that's nice. Have a Hal Jordan character model, that's solo, as well as like facial expressions and stuff like that. But he's really the only one that we get like a huge focus on. A lot of like character studies for him. And then like there's just pages and pages and pages of his character model being turned around to different angles, which unfortunately takes up a large amount of this book. But then we've also got like head turns for a couple of the Guardians, We've got Kilowog character studies, a Kilowog turnaround, facial expressions. That's another Kilowog turn and another Kilowog facial expressions. I think those are the same pages again. There were a couple backgrounds in here. Where did those go? Here they are. Like there we go, background art, stuff like that. So yeah, so that's the last one. I've got to figure out scanning all of those and not necessarily breaking the book binding to do it. So that might take some time, but I'll figure it out. Geotest must be way less stylish. It's a gorgeous show, and I do think that it deserves an art book, an actual art book that's like put together for consumers rather than just something like this that's made for marketing material. But that's just my opinion. Is a Justice League Infinity, will it canon come out, or is it in the same universe? It's not even finished. We've only got 3 of the 7 issues. Let's see. I want to see more Aya, please. Let me see. Let me see what I've got for Aya. I've got this specific pose for marketing material. And the CGI version of that pose. But I don't think she got a lot of art in here, actually. Here she is, CGI character on the side of this chart. And then she had her CGI turnaround right there. But I think that's like really all we have for her in this book. Unfortunately. Yeah, all these posters or the action figure card backs, whatever they ended up being, just have her in that same marketing pose. And then there's not really any anything else, unfortunately. Wasted potential. Could have had more in there. But I think this was also around the same time that like Warner Brothers was like, girls don't watch our cartoons, kind of thing. So you know, why focus on her in the marketing material? I like how the setup introducing Aya into the main continuity then gave up entirely when the new 52 started. I didn't know that they did that. That's interesting. To be fair, that writer clearly took the idea and published it without thinking about it. Geotest is one of the few DC animated series I'm yet to watch. Really have to settle down with it one of these days. It's it takes a little bit to get into it, but once you got that sunk cost in there of like what the first 5 episodes or so maybe, it's just a wonderful show. It's a blast. It's very emotional. I ended up crying at the end of it. Highly would recommend. Thank you, Maddie. Geotest is pure love. I wish they had done more seasons and then tied it more neatly with Jon Stewart and Kyle Rayner. That would have been neat. Feel it deserves a sequel reboot with more of the Green Lantern mythos. I will say that they did pick up one story plot from Geotest in Justice League Action. So if you watch that show, you'll see a Green Lantern animated character again, ever so briefly. But yeah, real quick, I am going to go on standby for a second, run to the restroom, and then I will be right back and we'll hop into the actual book. Stay right there. Oh, fuck. I've been muted. I've been muted this whole time. Hey, there we go. All right, I'm just responding to y'all and not even, you know, being heard. Here we are. I was saying the Green Lantern the Animated Series episode that is, or the Justice League action episode that follows up Green Lantern the Animated Series is called Barehanded. If you only watch one episode of Justice League action, make it that one. But watch it after watching Green Lantern the Animated Series. That is the caveat. Maddie and chat, what do you all think is the most underrated DC cartoon? For me, it's either Legion of Superheroes or Batman the Brave and the Bold. I don't think Brave and the Bold is underrated. I think there's a lot of love for it. I think there's not a lot of talk about it specifically on YouTube because like I think are the primary DC animation YouTubers, and we just haven't talked about it because we talk mainly about the DCAU. But like elsewhere where DC circles where DC animation's talked about, I see it come up all of the time. Legion of Superheroes, I don't necessarily think it's underrated because I don't necessarily think it's that good. Personally, I watched it once and I was just like, okay, whatever. This is just a thing. Nothing that really happened caught me too well. I would say I haven't watched Beware the Batman, so I can't speak on that for sure. But I think, in my opinion, it would be Green Lantern the Animated Series. Isn't Justice League Action the Justice League Unlimited Teen Titans Go mix? I wouldn't classify it as that at all. I don't see it as Teen Titans Go-esque in any regards whatsoever. Let's see. But yeah, Zeta Project is definitely an underrated one, in my opinion. All right. Where is Mike? I got it now. Okay, everything before that was just y'all talking about the underrated question. Is a Nightwing film coming? I have no clue. Brave and the Bold had a movie in 2018. That's true. I love Brave and the Bold because of the return to the Silver Age. Yeah, Brave and the Bold is wonderful. There's a jail action follow up to Green Lantern the Animated Series. Yeah. Legion of Superheroes was very much a Saturday morning action cartoon of its time, but I still think it's worth watching just to know it exists. I mean, like it's fine. It is what it is, but it's not anything that like actually caught me. You mean the follow-up? Yeah. That's what I meant. Who's this Mike they're talking about exactly? Why do I have my pronouns on screen? Because people consistently do not use them. So, you know, just making them clear. But yeah, what I was saying while my mic was muted was that this book was called In Darkest Night when it was first printed, but for some reason the ebook version is called In Blackest Night. This is not an adaptation of the Justice League episode, but instead is a whole new story. So we're about to jump into that. Always found Static Shock underrated. I feel like a lot of people love that show. I feel like there's probably been a lot more talk about it recently, given that the DVDs finally came out. HBO Max has it now, and like we got the comic book reboot. So there's definitely been a lot more talk around it lately. But before the past like couple years, I would say that would be a fitting one for sure. It's huge in Brazil. Everything is big in Brazil, from what I understand. Another Michael Jan Friedman. Yes. So we're gonna do, at the very least, the prologue. Jesus, I've already been streaming for an hour. We're gonna do at the very least the prologue, maybe chapter 1 as well. I do have like a couple things that need to get done today, and I didn't expect to spend so much time on those style guides, but it is what it is. Is all of the DCAU in North American HBO Max? Zeta Project is not, but I think everything else is, if I'm remembering correctly. Prologue. Dave Van Domelen had always loved the stars. His childhood buddies had wanted to become firemen and baseball players, deep sea divers, and race car drivers, but Van Domelen had never been interested in any of those professions. For as long as he could remember, he had wanted to be an astronomer, and he did whatever he had to in order to become one. He studied astronomy in high school, college, and graduate school. He spent his summers visiting observatory after observatory. He taught, he helped conduct research. Finally, Van Domelen got a job at the kind of place he had always dreamed about. He was named assistant director of the prestigious Kane Broom Institute for Space Studies in Coast City, California. Kane, of course, being Bob Kane, the guy who said he created Batman for so long, and then come to find out he was snubbing Bill Finger. And Broom being, if I'm remembering correctly, John Broom, not Broomer, who I'm pretty sure created Green Lantern. Maybe his first name wasn't John. Green Lantern. No, it was John. Yeah, John Broom, the creator of Green Lantern. So that's a nice little shout to both, even though Kane is kind of a dickbag. Maddie, you're going to Brazil. You can't make me go to Brazil. I just really remember liking Legion of Superheroes, and it seems like most people didn't even remember / know it existed, at least until recently. Yeah, that's fair. That is one that came back into the zeitgeist with I think it get a Blu-ray release, but also like DC Universe and HBO Max kind of helped it out. Broom made Alan Scott or Cal Jordan? God, I don't remember. I don't remember which one he made. Wrote primarily Green Lantern stories and hold on. Can I see, what did he create? He created Detective Chimp, The Phantom Stranger, Atomic Knights, there we go. Created Hal Jordan. That was the one. Now, where were we? He was named assistant director for the prestigious Kane Broom Institute for Space Studies in Coast City, California. Kane Broom studied the galaxy with the help of an immense telescope that had been placed in orbit around the Earth. The telescope, known as Solarac, was able to do more than pick up light from other stars because it was located outside Earth's atmosphere. Solarac was also able to detect gamma radiation and tiny particles that were constantly being ejected from Earth's sun. The information gathered by Solarac was fed back to the Kane Broom Institute, where it was stored and analyzed by a powerful computer. There, Van Domelen and his fellow scientists had a chance to go over it, learning more about our sun, our solar system, and the rest of the universe in the process. But Van Domelen wasn't content just to pore over computer data. Every night, he took a turn at the bank of television monitors hooked up to the Institute's computer, watching and hoping that something interesting would happen while he was there. He did that for more than 6 months, but in all that time, nothing of interest took place. Nothing of even mild interest. All Van Domelen ever saw on the monitors was normal solar activity. Unusual events like flares, sudden leaps, and spurts of fiery solar gases always seemed to take place when somebody else was manning the monitors. And yet, there was again on a cool night in mid-October, sitting in front of the same gray mainframe computer and the same silent monitors, drinking the same black coffee out of the same kind of styrofoam cup. But after more than 6 months of watching and hoping, Van Domelen was beginning to wonder if he was wasting his time. When am I finally going to see something? He asked himself. He leaned closer to the biggest of the screens, the one that displayed a picture of the entire sun. When am I going to witness something special? The scientist had barely completed the thought when he got his wish. Right before his eyes, the sun's surface seemed to erupt with a flare that was bigger, brighter, and more powerful than anything he could have ever imagined. It climbed so far into space, it looked like a long, slender finger on a giant golden hand. And the flare didn't subside right away either. It kept erupting for what must have been a full minute. Then finally, it began to diminish in size and intensity. Eventually, it became just another part of the sun's aura again. Feeling a thrill of excitement, the scientist checked some of the smaller monitors to find out the flare's measurements. As it turned out, it was every bit as impressive as it had looked. Cane Broom had been in operation for 6.5 years, and nothing ever recorded there had ever come close to this. How lucky can I get? Van Domelen asked himself. All his patience had been worth it. He couldn't wait to tell Dr. Giella, the director of the Institute. He was sure his boss would be excited beyond words. Giella is another one that I recognize, but I'm drawing a blank. Joe Giella? Creators. Did he not like actually create anything? Well, he worked with Bob Kane. He did Strange Adventures. Okay. Maybe we'll get Adam Strange in here. The entire book is just this guy watching cameras and nothing happens. Never mind, something just happened. This is reminding me of I don't know if any of y'all are VeggieTales fans. I put VeggieTales stuff into videos from time to time, but this reminds me of the start of Larry Boy and the Fib from Outer Space, where Jimmy and Jerry Gord are working the space station in town, and they're just watching the monitors, and all of a sudden something crashes down to Earth. That's the vibe I'm getting out of this. Let's see. How lucky can I get? Van Domelen asked himself. All his patience had been worth it. He couldn't wait to tell Dr. Giella, the director of the Institute. He was sure his boss would be excited beyond words. But as he reached for the telephone, Van Domelen's elbow hit his coffee cup and knocked it over. Hot, dark, brown liquid spread across the table in front of him, threatening to damage its collection of keyboards and point-and-click mice. Whoa! He cried frantically, snatching up the equipment before it could get wet. He put it all on a shelf next to the table. Then he went to get some paper towels from the supply room down the hall. It took a few minutes for him to reach the supply room. A few more to find the paper towels, and a few more still to return the control to the control center. By then, the unexpected had turned into the unbelievable. The computer's gray exterior was crackling with a web of blue energy that looked as if it were trying to eat the mainframe alive. The same thing was happening to the bank of monitors. Black plumes of smoke were rising here and there, and the room was filled with the acrid scent of superheated metal. "No!" Van Domelen roared, dropping his roll of paper towels. What had happened while he was gone? Surely a spilled cup of coffee hadn't caused all this. Searching for a clue, his eyes were drawn to the monitor screens. The big one in particular. It wasn't showing him a picture of the sun anymore. It was scrolling a series of bright red codes that looked like the commands found in a computer program. Van Domelen understood enough of it to know what the commands meant. It was a repair sequence. Solarak had been designed with the ability to take any part that might have gotten damaged and reconstruct it so it would work again. That was what it was doing now. But what could have caused so much damage? Solarak had been working fine until a few moments ago. Van Domelen studied the information on another monitor until he got an answer to his question. Apparently the telescope had been hit with a burst of radiation, and not the kind that normally came out of the sun. This was a kind of radiation the computer couldn't seem to identify. The flare, the scientist thought. Was it possible that it had been more than just big and impressive looking? Had it released a wave of mysterious energy powerful enough to damage Solarak? A few minutes? How long is this freaking hallway? Right? True. I don't know if I've walked down a hallway for 3 minutes. Just hit the computer. That'll fix it. Absolutely. I'm deviating you from the reading. That's, hey, it's A-okay to deviate me from the reading. Because here's the thing. While, obviously, I can't stay on stream all day, the more that's going on in chat, I'm sure the better it is algorithmically for us. So, you know, if y'all want to talk, I will not stop you from talking. It just might take a second for me to get to it and read it back. That is, of course, unless somebody does their talks with a little donation thing, and then it just tells me in my ears, hey, there's a donation message, and then I you know, draw my attention directly over to it. If you want me to respond to something in a quick manner. But yeah, I won't stop you from talking. Van Domelen squinted as he watched the electric blue web sizzle across the face of the computer. Whatever had hit the telescope, it hadn't stopped there. It had detected Solarak's data stream and sent an energy charge all the way back to Cane Broom. The scientist had never heard of anything like that before, but then he had never seen a solar flare of such huge proportions either. By then, Solarak had gone a long way toward rebuilding itself. But if the codes Van Domelen was reading were correct, it wasn't just rebuilding a little, it was rebuilding everything. Solarak wasn't even a telescope anymore, he realized. A chill went up his spine. It was becoming some other kind of device entirely. Then the scientist realized something else. Solarak's position in space was changing. It wasn't staying in orbit the way it was supposed to. It was coming back to Earth, and at a frightening speed. A machine as powerful and complex as Solarak, with a new body and a new mission? Van Domelen couldn't imagine what it would look like when it got there. He couldn't even begin to guess what kind of behavior it might exhibit. But he found himself shivering at the thought of it. Bum, 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 bum. And that's the end of the prologue. So this is the part where I take notes. If you haven't been here before for a stream, essentially a lot of this is for note taking for the sake of future videos, including will it canons, timelines, maybe even book reports, stuff along those lines. So we pump everything into our spreadsheet we've got. We list character appearances, locations, items, stuff that could make it non-canon, timeline stuff that happened like in show that's being referenced, all kinds of stuff like that. Let's see. I've got Van Domelen. Did I spell Domelen? Yeah, okay, I spelled it right. Cane Broom Institute for Space Studies. Cane Broom Institute for Space studies. And Coast City, California. You know, Earth is mentioned, so fuck it. I'll put Earth. Let's see. Van Domlin has been at Cane Broom for over 6 months. Cane Broom has been around, I think they said, for 6.5 years. I'll have to double check that. We're in mid-October here, so that's one for me to put down. 6.5 years, yeah. Okay, 6.5 years. Oh wait, those are supposed to be in separate. It's mid-October. And then do that. Do that. I think that is all of the notes from this section. I guess there was a giant golden hand. Maybe that's the golden Superman from the other book, though I doubt it, because this book came out first. And I think they were also different authors. So that's it for the prologue's notes. I think. So about that subtitling gig. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we just don't have like a lot of money to like pay people for new stuff. But if that is something that you're interested in doing, I would shoot an email over to info@watchtowerdatabase.com. Oh, can I DM you guys about a proposition of how to make it fair? I really want to help. It kind of helps me build a better portfolio and stuff. More in a probable message. Yeah, shoot an email to info@watchtowerdatabase.com. I believe that should be our email that James goes through, and he does the majority of let me see. He does a majority of like the like behind the scenes dealings, I would say. Where is our website? I just want to make sure that I've got the right email. Oh, is that website still not up? We had a our domains lapsed recently because they didn't tell James that he needed to re-up them, and I guess it wasn't set in the calendar. Contact. Yeah, if info@watchtowerdatabase.com doesn't work, then info@legacesdcau.com should work just as fine. Coast City and locations. I got Coast City. It's right here. Coast City, California. Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah, tight. But yeah, okay. So that is chapter 1. Let me just. There we go. And you know what? We can do. We can do chapter 1 on top of doing the prologue. Why not? Let's go. Let's get into the real meat and potatoes. Oh, where it is. John Stewart knew he was having trouble with his memory again when he saw the collection of pale orange fruit sitting in its crude wooden box. Again? Again? Did John have memory problems on the show at all? I don't remember that. He stopped in the front of the fruit stand and stared at the fruit for a while. Then, as cars and trucks and people streamed past him, each making a particular kind of noise, he took a piece out of the box. He held it up to the sunlight. He turned it over in his hand. He even tried smelling it, which wasn't an easy task with all the other interesting smells in his old neighborhood competing for his attention. But even after John had done all that, he shook his head. He was sure he had once known the name of this fruit, but for the life of him, he couldn't remember what it was. It didn't alarm him that his memory had some gaps in it. After all, he had patrolled space for years as a Green Lantern, fighting threats to the peaceful inhabitants of world after far-flung world. Only recently had he decided to return to Earth, the place of his birth. In the time John had spent among the stars, he had become familiar with 100 or more different species. He could say, "Get back, I'll protect you," in the languages of 6 dozen planets. He had filed away at least 1,000 alien names, some of which he could barely wrap his mouth around, but he had forgotten a few of the words he had used on Earth. Simple words that he used to say without even thinking, and one of them was the name of a pale orange fruit with a sweet smell and a soft, yielding kind of flesh. "Something wrong?" asked the plump little woman who ran the fruit stand. The Green Lantern shook his head. "Nothing." He had always been the independent type. He felt uncomfortable asking for help from others. "Yes, there is," the woman told him. He looked at her. "There is?" "Yes, indeed." She took his left hand in both of hers. "There's no wedding ring on this finger. I'd say there's something wrong when a big, handsome man like yourself doesn't have a wife." John frowned. "I've been away on a business a lot. Haven't had much time for social life." It was true. Green Lanterns dedicated themselves to their work. There was no room for anything else in their lives. It was a lonely existence at times, but someone had to do it. "Well then," said the woman, "you should make time. If I were you, I'd..." John didn't hear the rest of her advice because an alarm had gone off in his ear, an alarm none of the neighborhood people around him could hear. "John," said a deep, haunting voice, "this is..." "I know who it is," John interrupted. His name was John Jones, and he was calling from a place in orbit around the Earth, a watchtower set up by the Justice League. John and Jean were both charter members of the group. Jean lived in the watchtower because he was the last surviving member of his Martian species. To some people, Jean might have seemed strange and maybe even frightening, with his green skin and deep-set red eyes, but not to a Green Lantern. John had seen a lot stranger and a lot more frightening aliens in his travels. "What's wrong?" "Oh, I'm doing all of the voices backwards." John had issues remembering what happened with Zanshi. What is Zanshi? Was that the... I don't think that was memory trouble so much as... If that's the planet that exploded, I don't think that was memory trouble so much as it was he actually thought that he was the one who had done it, because it was like an illusion set up to make him think he did it. For whatever reason, I thought Coast City was Oregon or Washington, closer to Star City, but I checked and it is California. The more you know. "What's wrong?" he asked the Martian Manhunter. "You've heard of Solarak?" "Of course," John replied. He and his fellow Justice Leaguers could see it sometimes from their watchtower, its lenses glinting in the unfiltered sunlight. "Of course what?" asked the fruit stand lady. John ignored her. "What about it?" he asked John. "Something has happened to it. The device has somehow reconfigured itself and is attacking Coast City. Attacking Coast City? A telescope? John thought he had heard it all, but that was a new one on him. How could that happen? He asked. From what I can gather, Solarak is absorbing energy. Coast City has that in great abundance. It was as good an explanation as any. Superman is out in space, the Martian continued, but I'm alerting the rest of the League. I'm on it, John said. See you in Coast City. By then, the fruit stand lady was staring at him good and hard. Coast City, she echoed. Why would you want to see me there? John didn't have time to explain. He just willed his ring, the one on the middle finger of his right hand, to turn his street clothes back into the Green Lantern uniform. But before he left the stand, he had to ask a question. That fruit, he said, pointing to the one that had baffled him. What's it called? The fruit stand lady was staring at him with eyes as wide as frisbees. No doubt she had never seen a superhero up close before. A mango, she muttered. It's called a mango. Mango, John repeated. He made a sound of disgust. How could he have forgotten something so simple? With a burst of willpower, he rose into the air and rocketed off in the direction of Coast City. John was more than a mile out of town when he remembered he hadn't charged his ring in some time. The ring was the source of his power. Under his guidance, it could project beams and barriers of seething green energy. The last thing he wanted to do was run out of that energy during a brawl with a powerful enemy. He looped back to He looped back to the neighborhood, shot through a narrow space between two buildings, and entered the window he had left open in his apartment. It was a simple place, not much furniture or anything. But then, he had gotten used to traveling light during his days of patrolling space with the Green Lantern Corps. Besides, there was really only one piece of furniture that mattered to John, and at the moment, it was invisible. Moving his hand over what appeared to be an empty table, he found it with his fingertips. The thing was smooth, like metal, and cold to the touch, with both flat and round surfaces. When he pressed his ring against it, the contact made it appear before his eyes. It was a lantern, glowing with an emerald light that bathed the entire room in its splendor. A green lantern. John knew he didn't have to say anything while he was charging his ring. Just pressing it against the lantern would do the trick, but he always said something anyway. In brightest day, in darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. It was the motto of the Green Lantern Corps, a reminder to every being who had been given a ring by the mysterious guardians of the universe that it was his or her duty to stand up to evil in all its forms, and not just sometimes, all the time. That was the most difficult part of being a Green Lantern. They need to be on guard 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He could never just relax the same way other people did. He always had to be ready to fly off at a moment's notice. Sometimes, John wondered what it would be like to have a family like other guys his age. He would picture himself barbecuing in the backyard, watching his kids play ball while his wife hugged him and told him what a terrific cook he was. Damn, John is just like the rest of us. John just wants to grill. John just wants to grill. Like, this is the way it should be for John. This is John for sure. All the media says is racism, shooting, socialism, KKK. I just want to grill, for God's sake. Just slap John's head on top of that. There we go. Damn, just so many dudes just grilling. Why is this the one that became a meme? Like, this is the grilling meme. There's so many good just grilling. Is that? Look at this guy. This guy should be a meme. Give him the grill. Oh, here we go. Grilling in the yard. I can't remember the last time not charging a ring was an issue. Yeah, I imagine they probably don't do that a lot more in the comics, do they? Probably a little tried and tired, even though it's just like it's part of the character. The constant desire to have DC be frozen in Silver Ageism. It's the weird centrist grilling cursed boomer images. Fun fact, grilling is not a thing in my part of the continent, so I never understood the imagery of American folks grilling a barbecue. I think that a lot of the barbecue grilling stuff is very much tied to suburban life, right? Because obviously, I live in an apartment and I can't just put a grill out on my back porch, and so it's just like it's seen as like an aspirational thing of just like, hey, you know, I get to go outside, hang out in the yard, drink some beers, and cook with the boys, with the dudes, with the bros, kind of a situation. See, here you go. We got the bros right here. Or it could even be a father-son bonding thing. I know definitely that my stepdad is big into grilling and like would absolutely take me out into the yard to grill stuff up with him when I was a kid. It's a fun way to cook if you can afford the space and time for it, but we don't really get it too much if we're poor, like I am. Google churrasco gaucho. Alright. Oh. That's well, I assume this is probably about the same thing that you were. Oh yeah, we used to do some stuff like this with some of the meats that we cooked up for barbecue at the barbecue shop I used to work at. Have them kind of vent out like that. God, this looks delicious. I'm a vegetarian, but just like grilling and barbecue is just like a weak spot for me. Like barbecue's delicious, and like if anything, we're gonna break the decade of vegetarianism that I have under my belt. It would be barbecue or seafood. My apartment's clubhouse has some grills by the pool that the whole complex has to share. My apartment is basically a renovated hotel, not hotel, but motel, where what was once motel rooms is essentially your apartment. Like it's not the greatest of spaces, and I think a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that it's you know, in a city where space is very limited. But that's just my experience. We did have a pool at my old apartment back in Georgia, but I've just had nothing like that for the last 5-6 years. Fortunately, I have a disdain for cutting and cooking meat, so I don't think that's an issue I gotta share. Not to get spoilery, but anybody else following Diggle and his journey of becoming GL on CW? I am so far behind on all that, so I haven't seen it. Where were we? He would picture himself barbecuing in the backyard, watching his kids play ball, while his wife hugged him and told him what a terrific cook he was. Then he would get wind of someone in need of help, and his daydream bubble would pop, and he would find himself streaking. That's gotta be one hell of a daydream. You're daydreaming about barbecuing, and then all of a sudden, your daydream bubble pops, and now you're just streaking. Why does the ebook just stop it there? Like, there's still so much room. And he just said, nah, we'll end the line at streaking instead of having the rest of the paragraph come in under it. Oh, naked Green Lantern now to go with our naked Lex Luthor. And he would find himself streaking through the sky to stop some monster from destroying some city, just as he was about to do now. John frowned. Family barbecues were for other people. He was a Green Lantern. With that thought in mind, he took off to meet his teammates in Coast City. And by meet his teammates, I mean turn his teammates into meat for his barbecues. And that's the end of the chapter. Beautiful, beautiful way to go out. Let's see, real quick, we did have, let's see, John Stewart was mentioned. John Jones was mentioned. Superman was mentioned. And they said the rest of the league, but I'll just put the Justice League and the Green Lantern Corps. That's not how you spell lantern. There we go, Lantern Corps. And Fruit Stand Lady. Isn't the Streak a speedster in some universe? Probably. That sounds about right. Let's see. So we got the Watchtower, and we've got John's hometown, which is like suggested to be Detroit, though it's not suggested here. It's just suggested elsewhere. Green Lantern ring. I guess Green Lantern, and we got Mongo's, which none of that's really too important. John has been a Lantern for years, and wasn't it suggested that he's only recently come back to Earth? Only recently had he decided to return to Earth. Okay. John returned to Earth recently. Okay, nothing like concrete, no pop culture, no weather, no other clues. So I think that's basically it as far as the as far as the what you call it goes, the notes. Oi. I'm sort of ambivalent on the whole way it's been handled, but I guess we'll see. Worlds away. Good soup. Oh, hello, Jimbo. Should team up with the Blur from Smallville. Yo, stream highlight reel going up as soon as you're offline. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Excited about that. Streak is from Justice Guild. Okay, that's the one. That's the one. Streak is from Justice Guild. Let's see. We didn't get season 6 of Supergirl. Okay, so basically that's the end of we got the prologue, we got chapter 1. And then y'all got to see all of this stuff that I have to that I have to scan. So we're gonna play it out. We're gonna play it out in the stream. Here's Naked Lex one more time. Naked Lex, they, them. Beautiful. First 3 episodes of Doom Patrol's 3rd season are on HBO Max now, people. Hell yeah. I'm gonna watch that soon. But with that said, I'm gonna go ahead, peace out, go grab groceries, lunch, stuff like that. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next week when we hop back in at chapter 2. Mwah. Much loves.